Hello everyone. So if you don't already know, I really enjoyed the book Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. It combined some of my favorite things like video games and pulp culture. While I know that there are many problems with the book, I still very much enjoyed it. I was very excited when I heard that there was going to be a movie about this book. I thought they could do so much with it. And when I heard Steven Spielberg was going to direct it, I thought it's going to be so great. However, I was very disappointed. The story didn't come off very well, and the changes they made didn't make sense and were just awful. I didn't really connect with the characters. There weren't enough interaction with the characters to actually get to know them and cheer for them and to care about them. So let's talk about the changes. If you haven't read the book or you haven't seen the movie, there will be major spoilers, so I suggest not watching this video. You are warned. In the beginning, there was this huge race of all the Oasis characters trying to compete to get the bronze key. Over and over, people would fail trying to get past King Kong or T-Rex, and this has been going on for 5 years. The reason I hated this change so much is because it took away from the victory of getting the first Easter egg. In the book, it is a big mystery of where to even find the first key. No one could figure out the clue to even begin the challenge. When Wade, or Parzival, that's his Oasis character's name, finally figures it out, he realizes that Artemis is already there, another main character. She just hasn't been able to succeed to get the first key, but she figured out the clue a while back. And so when Parzival finally beats the challenge and gets the first key, it was this big thing because no one was ever able to figure out even where to go to get this key. And the movie kind of took away from that because everyone knew. It was just this big whole community thing where everyone got together and tried to get the key for themselves instead of this big mystery, which I liked the mystery part of it. My biggest flaw with this movie was what they did to Artemis. So initially I thought it was so cool how Wade and Artemis first met in the movie. However, they didn't take it into a good direction. They had an opportunity to make Artemis and this whole thing so much greater, and they just kind of dropped it then and there. In the book, Artemis is kind of well known. She writes a blog, and so when Parzival meets her for the first time in the video game getting the bronze key, he already knew who she was. After this, they kept in close contact, and Wade kind of tries to begin dating her, but after a while she stopped it. She didn't want it to interfere with winning the game because she had good intentions with winning. She had this higher purpose. They didn't meet in person till the very end of the book because people were after them, and so they had to get together to stay safe. In the movie, Wade is saved by her. The IOI are after him because he won the first game, and so she brings him to this Revolution hideout. This is where she explains to him that her father was in debt and her mission is to take the big corporation down, and that she's basically a part of this resistance to make sure the Oasis doesn't fall into the wrong hands. At first I was like, oh, I don't like that they're meeting so soon. I liked her pushing him away because she had more important things to do than focus on romance. But then I thought, oh, it's so cool that she's part of this resistance and she started all this and she's taking part of it. It gave backstory to her character that I thought was needed in the book. However, they completely messed it up when she gave herself up to save Wade, because she said, oh, Wade is the one to win. At this point, it made no sense why everyone was trying to be like, oh, Wade is the one, Wade is going to win, Wade is going to beat everyone and get control of Oasis. Especially since Artemis is smart, she's strong, and she's just as high level gamer as Wade, and she has a real purpose to win. And she started this whole resistance, but then just kind of gave it up for Wade and saying Wade is going to be the one to do it. And after that, basically everyone in the resistance dies when they try to get Wade. So it's like, why introduce this scene? Just to introduce Wade's love interest? I wanted a strong female character, and they just made her the love interest, and she just needed love because despite the birthmark on her face, he was able to love her. I just didn't like what they did with Artemis's character. In the book, the secret to getting the key was was to be good at video games and movie trivia that Halliday loved. But in the movie, it was all about how much you know about Halliday's personal life. Like the whole Shining scene. Visually, it was kind of cool, especially if you like The Shining, but adding to the plot, it was just stupid. Because to win the key in the Shining scene, you had to know that he didn't dance and kiss Kira. So Kira is a woman he went on a date with, and it didn't go well. And Kira ended up marrying Ogden Morrow, who is Halliday's partner. So the second challenge kind of reflected this. They had to find Kira and dance with her and kiss her in order to win the second key. I hated this so much because it was shown that Kira was a prize to be won. There was no point in the movie where it even showed that Kira even liked Halliday. They went on one date. But the challenge seemed like, oh, if he just made the right moves and danced with her and kissed her, then he would have won her over. And this was shown in this movie where they kissed and they won. No, she's not a prize. Stop making women prizes. Very quickly in the movie did everyone meet. H, Sho, Dido. I didn't like this because basically the point of Oasis was to be anonymous. They were supposed to be this socially awkward, geeky people who knew so much about movies and games and basically their whole life being online. And I think a lot of people could relate to that, but then having them quickly meet, it kind of took away from that. They weren't relatable anymore. I really liked H's character in the book. I liked how they explained how her avatar was a boy because it was much easier. It showed how video game culture can be sexist. I'm sure if you're a girl gamer, you have experienced some sort of sexism while playing. It happens, and I liked how the book addressed that. In the movie, it wasn't really touched upon. H wasn't really an important character, and I was disappointed because they had a chance to really send a message out there, but it was completely overlooked. Besides all the changes that they made, the overall atmosphere was kind of off. The beginning scene where Wade first steps out of the stacks and you get to see everything, that was awesome. The world looked amazing, but other than that, I think they could have done a lot more with the movie. I just wanted more from these characters, especially the female characters. They completely messed with it and just had it seem like this boy hero who didn't show his worth and had everyone else help him, and then he was the victory and made it seem like he was important, when I think they could have done a lot more, especially with the female characters. I thought they were going to, but they didn't, and so that is what disappointed me the most. So let me know what you think about the movie and book, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!